welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I know I usually do a lot of investigations and stuff like that, but I wanted to do a sit-down video today because I got my microphone in and I got my ring light. So it's not as dark, and hopefully this audio is louder. And the case I'm bringing you today, actually, well, the place, not really case, is somewhere pretty interesting. I've been there before. I have some video for it, not a lot, but some from it that I'll put in at the end of this. But anyway, the place I want to talk about today is called Devil's Creek. It's in Kentucky. I'm not going to tell you where it's at because it's on private property now. There's a no trespassing sign up as of the last time I went down there a few months ago. That's an interesting story, and I'll tell that in a minute. But anyway, let's get started with the history of this place. I have it on my phone. I couldn't find a lot about it. I tried very hard, but there's just not much on it except for the story that I found and some folklore that I learned about it from my mom. And she told me about it. It's a place, I don't know if she'd been there when she was a teenager or she just knew about it. But anyway, the story goes like this. Devil's Creek has always been known as a rough area, hence the name. I had no idea just how rough until I ran across the story of the area and what goes on there. In the mid-1900s, Wolf Pit Church and Cemetery made their home in Devil's Creek. I'd like to pause there for a second. I didn't know the name of the church that was there, but I do now. I just know it is Devil's Creek because that's the name of the road that it's on. Anyway, back to the... according to the local legend, this wasn't your typical church. The congregation didn't worship a god. They were Satanists. In early 1980s, pentagrams and upside-down crosses began appearing in the area, while some said that the pure evil walked the land. Dancing lights, floating orbs, strange sounds, eerie feelings, and a birdman were just some of the strange reports. Which I'd also like to throw in there that my mother knew nothing about a birdman, and I'd never heard about it either. And I've been down there a few times and never experienced anything like that. But anyway, yes, you heard that right. A birdman, half bird, half man, said to be over 7 feet tall and chase you if you come too close. The Wolf Pit Cemetery is said to have a horizontal grave where a man is so evil they feared he would crawl out of his grave, was buried upside down. When it snows, the snow doesn't stick to his grave. And it continues to say, paranormal experts have checked out the area. It was an active night with the cameras catching orbs, lights, and other paranormal phenomenon. Now, I'd like to go ahead and just tell you what my mother told me about it. Hence the same backstory. There was a church. They did supposedly practice Satanism and Satan worship and all that stuff. I don't know about the pentagrams and stuff. She never told me about that. But there is a burnt down church down there. Supposedly the townspeople got sick of them worshiping down there and went down there and burnt the church house down so that they couldn't worship there anymore. That's all my mom knew about. She knew that it was supposedly haunted and all this stuff. It is haunted, as far as I'm concerned. The first time I went down there, it was me and my mom, my stepdad, and my grandma. My grandma doesn't believe in this kind of stuff. My mom's leery about it, as you've seen. And I think my stepdad really believes in it. He had some experiences and stuff on his own, too. So, but anyway, that night we went down there. It was a few years ago. I didn't have a camera. I just had a cell phone, and I had a ghost hunting kit that I got for Christmas. That's where my EMF detector came from. I have a motion detector, but I don't hardly use it because I don't like using it outside, and that's where I investigate most of the time is outside because, you know, a bug could set it off or anything, really. So, I have it, and it's got a little pin, and it's got a button used, kind of like this. I'll open this so you can see it. It came with my ring light, and it's for a phone. I'm not going to use it for my phone, but anyway, it looks like this, and it's got a little, I don't know if you could see the plastic, but it's got one of those in it. That's a pin that keeps it from turning itself on in the box that it was in. And I always leave that in there because it makes a very irritating sound when it goes off, and I don't want it to accidentally go off in the box. But anyway, I had the box setting on one of the stones. There's still a little bit left of the foundation of the church that's there. I had it setting on that and getting all my equipment ready, what little bit I had at the time, to investigate, and it went off twice. So then I took it out, had to pull the pin out of it to turn it off, because I leave it in there so that it won't turn itself on. And I decided I was going to set it on one of the graves, or the headstones rather. So I set it on the headstone, and it just kept going off. At that point I'd turned it on, because why not? And we didn't really catch much. I don't remember if I caught any orbs or not. Like I said, it was on one of my phones, and I don't have that phone anymore, and I didn't think to save it to anything. So I don't remember a whole lot about that part. I do know that when you walk around, you can hear somebody walking steps with you. You can hear things in the woods. It wasn't even dark yet when we went out there this time, mind you. But you could hear somebody walking, sharing your footsteps. You could hear things in the woods, because it's a very wooded area. There's hiking trails and stuff out there now. And there's the church, and then the graveyard is right beside it, obviously. And it's just woods all around it, and a dirt road that goes past it. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, I've been back. I went with my sister and her boyfriend, and we went out there. Oh, well, no, let me backtrack to the first story, because I forgot this part. My grandma was sitting in the car. Like I said, she doesn't like haunting. She doesn't like messing with that stuff. She stayed in the car. She didn't want to get out. She saw a black shadow come up to the back of the car, because she thought we were getting something out of the car. She saw a black shadow come up to the car. And this woman doesn't believe in ghosts. She doesn't. So I believe her when she says this. And okay, fast forward to the next story. We go out there. My sister's boyfriend had never been there before, and he tends to panic in situations that he's not used to. He goes ghost town with me all the time, but he prefers areas that he's been to before. He'd never been there. And this is only my second time being there, my sister's first time being there. And we heard stuff he swore he heard, and dogs barking and this and that. I didn't hear it, and it was a sight to see, and if I had it recorded, I would show you. But the last time that we went to go down there, this one's a freaky story, and it doesn't even involve ghosts. We went down there one night because it'd been a long time, and I wanted to see if anything was still there. So we went down there, and it was me, my sister, her boyfriend, and our uncle. And we went down there. We passed a couple cars, and then we passed this truck that was sitting in the middle of the road, pointing the way we were going. And it freaked us out a little bit. But then we went down there, and there was a car that followed us. And there's usually never anybody out there during the night. It was dark. It was probably 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. It was dark. And we went down there, and we parked, and we hadn't been out of the car 2 minutes, and this car started pulling up. So we left, because we don't like confrontation, and I didn't want to have the law called or anything like that. Then we left, and that same truck was still sitting there. And there was other cars passing us coming down there. So I don't know if it's still an active satanic spot. Because when you do go down there, there is broken glass. There is remnants of fires. There's not any, like, graffiti or anything. But it's definitely weird. And it's... I'd like to go back there during the daytime. I know that I said there was a no trespassing sign up, and I respect that. But it's also hiking trails and stuff down in there. So I'd like to go back down there during the day and see. Because you catch stuff day or night. I learned that the first time I went down there. But we left. And like I said, I don't know if it's still active Satan worshippers. I mean, it's very possible. I don't know. We've heard that there's active KKK meetings down there, so that might have been what it was. I don't know. I don't know, but I definitely won't be back on a Saturday night. I know that. And I probably won't go back in the dark at all, just in case, because God only knows what could happen if I stumbled upon either of those things. So I'm not trying to get myself killed. But anyway, it's definitely a very interesting place with an interesting history. I'd love to know more, but I definitely want to go back during the day. And I do have, like I said, some clips. I might even have a few pictures. I don't know. I'll have to look back on my other camera and see if there's any pictures. Yeah. It's definitely crazy. I want to go back. I think there's something down there, and I'd like to know what for sure. So thanks for watching. If you want, you can like and subscribe. I wouldn't be mad at it. And hopefully there's more videos. I do have one planned for next week that you're going to like. And I have a lot of footage from it. And I'm definitely going to do a sit down part. And I think from now on, since I've got this microphone, that I'm going to start doing more introductions to my regular videos that my ghost hunting stuff that I actually do investigations. It'll be a lot easier now that is here, because I'm very, very quiet person, as you learned in the very first video you watched. But I've opened up more now. Obviously I'm talking louder than I did last time. I have the camera closer though too, so, and the microphone's on. So anyway, thanks again.